I'm going to try to show you the easiest possible somatic sequence. This is for people with achy, sore bodies. And if you have an achy, sore body, it's right at the point where it's almost boiling over. We want to think about it like everything's at a high simmer. If you have a really achy, sore body, so we want to have somatics to settle things down. So if regular somatics is not settling it down, not lowering the heat under the pan, we want to change our strategy. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Today is a change of strategy. Don't go into any pain or discomfort in these movements. You're teaching your nervous system out of the tension habit. The brain will not learn well if it's distracted by pain. Do not increase your pain in any way with these movements. This is just a YouTube video. So we're trying to move safely. We're trying to see how gentle can we go. Find plenty of pillow. If you need a lot of pillow under the head, I encourage you to do that. Okay, just so your back can be relaxed, plenty of pillow. Pillow under the knees, that can be helpful. And find an easy place for your hands. It might be hands are on the floor, it could be hands on your chest, it could be hands. I occasionally like hands on the bones at the front of the hips. It's sort of protruding bony place, if that makes sense for you. So, we're just lying here. We're assessing the ease that we're in. Compare the two sides. Is one side quieter than the other? Is one side need more attention? Is one side more at ease than the other? Okay, is your back resting? And just sort of check out the high idle of the whole system. So I'd like to show you a very important pattern for today. I call it the fractal pattern. For hand positions, let's have hands on side of low belly or hands on the floor. Whatever's easiest for you. So let's learn the fractal pattern. I call it the fractal pandiculation pattern. And we're trying to teach the system how to use less effort in our pandiculations. We're not trying to boil over, we're trying to settle it down, to lower the simmer. Could you lift one wrist off the floor, maybe a halfway? There's a vertical, we have the vertical, we're just going to come halfway off the floor or halfway off your hip. And then just maybe lower down in 3 steps, lowering down. 3, 2, and 1. Just let that rest. Now let's try that again. We're only going to come up the last third of a step. Coming up, 1/3. Can you lower that down in 3, 2, and 1? Now let's come up the last step that we just did. So here we're at 1/9, coming on up 1/9. The hand's barely lifting off. And can you lower out of that? 3, 2, and 1. Let's even try. We're at 1/27th if we go into that last step. Coming on up that last step, just that subtle effort, not even a movement. My hand isn't even lifting off. Lower down carefully, the diminishment of effort. 3, 2, 1. All the way to rest. Really let it rest. Okay. The fractal pattern. So find a comfortable place for your hands. Arms could be by your side if you want. We want to think of the body as front, back, and sides. So let's try the sides first. Think about where your heels are on the floor, and think about where your head is on the pillow. We're not rolling the head. I'm pushing my ear gently to the right side. Push your ear to the right side, and the pillow is the resistance. You're just coming in like that last step. And at the same time, could you find heels try to slide to the same side? So head a little bit slides to the right. It pushes over that way against the pillow. And heels push that way against the mat. If you push your head to the side a little bit more, you can find the ribs. If you push your feet a little to the side, you can find the waist. Okay. We're going to lower out of that in 3 steps. 3, 2, and 1. Let's try that one more time. It's like the side bend. We're activating the side and we're de-escalating it. So again, maybe heels start first. Heels push over there to the right to find the waist. Add head to find gently the side of the neck, the ribs under the armpit, the lower side ribs. Connect the dots and come out of that in 3 steps. 3, 2, and 1. Easy, slow, 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 slow. Just let it drift away. Now, shine the searchlight of your awareness inward and compare the 2 sides. Is one side more at ease than the other? Let's try that on the second side. Which starts first? Just, you know the movement sort of. We're just going one step into it. Is it heels goes first or head goes first, or do they go at the same time? Go gently, gently, just enough to begin to fill in the dots. Okay? If you need the waist a little bit more, heels slide to the left a little bit more. If you need the upper ribs and the armpit a little more, the head slides to the left a little more. Find that effort, that hardness in the body, and we're going to come out of that in 3 steps. 3, 2, 1. Let that rest. We could even come into it, that last little step. What's the gentlest you can come into this subtle movement? Someone would not even see you moving if they saw you. So head goes to the side, to the left. Ankles try to slide super gently to the left. They're not moving. You're just pushing against the mat and the pillow. And connect the dots. Just come into it softly. Truly the softest. Okay? Armpit to hip. Moves head and heels to the left. Come out of that slowly, really slowly. 3, 2, and 1. And let that go. Very good. Compare the sides. See if you can find ease. Let's think about the back. Super gently push heels, the softest amount. Can you just add 1 gram of weight pushing the heels down? Maybe 10 grams, 20 grams. 20 grams, 3/4 of an ounce. Can you push that down and notice, is the back turning on? And to balance that out, can the head push down into the pillow so softly, just to begin to find tension in the back of the neck? Okay, we're going to come out of it. Let's go a little slower. I'm going to count down from 5 this time. 5 tiny steps. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really let yourself rest. Can you let that go? Can you let that high idol be gone and out of you for a little bit? This time again, find your breathing. Let it be automatic. Encourage it and easy breathing. Don't direct the breathing anywhere specifically. Let it breathe wherever it wants. Notice how the breathing changes as you push heels and head slightly into the mat. Connect the dots. Can you find a little bit of the back of the legs? A little bit of the glutes? The low back ever so slightly, the middle back ever so slightly, the upper back ever so slightly, not too much on the neck. We're coming out of that. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Allow the floor to support you. Just surrender to the floor. Surrender to the floor. Really soft. Okay. The front. Think about your heels on the floor. Sense the amount of weight of head on pillow. Diminishing the weight of the heels on the floor slightly. Slightly. You're not lifting them up off the floor. It's like you're trying to lift off the floor. Feel how the abdomen tightens. Head is almost trying to lift off the pillow. Almost. Okay. Shoulders could come up ever so slightly. Maybe shoulders come ever so slightly up. Coming out of that. 3, 2, 1. Let's try that again because the brain is really good at holding on the front. The fractal pattern of 3s. So this time, let's come into the contraction ever so slightly in 3s. We're just going to put it together. 3 of the most microscopic steps. Coming into the contraction. 1, head and heels are trying to subtly lift up to press less into the mat. 2, 3. Push your back subtly down into the mat. Where do you press into the mat? Find it across the whole front of the body. Coming out of it. 3, 2, 1. Resting. Let it float out. Just that last step. We're going to go back into that last 1/3. So coming into that step, just gently, can you find it? Allow your back to press gently into the mat. That 1/3 contraction. Coming out of that in 3 steps. 3, 2, 1. Let that go. Can you let that completely go? Let the breathing happen. Let the body breathe however it wants. Let it move as it needs to breathe. A little bit bigger breathing. Let it be the easiest possible breathing. In art history class, the assignment is compare and contrast. Okay, scan through the body. Compare and contrast. What's the place that still has discomfort or is not at ease, really? There's discomfort, yes, that's the boiling over, but the level of ease is what we want to tune into. What place is not at ease and what place is at ease? What's the difference between those places? Compare and contrast. Let the breathing be automatic and anywhere. Just give your body permission to breathe. Is your nervous system more calm? Is your mind less restless? Are you surrendered to the floor? Are you surrendered to gravity? Where could you let it go a little bit more? Okay, that's where we got to go in the future. That's where we need to teach the brain how to settle down as we go forward on the path. You're on a path of healing. Don't be discouraged. Just find a way to settle it down and keep settling it down and know that you can settle your system down. Thank you very much for practicing this sequence with me. This one is another part of somatics that is really important. These super gentle sequences. In the middle of the night when you can't sleep, super gentle. Can you settle it down? Can you give your system a rest? It's okay to rest. That's what it needs to recover. I'm Eric Cooper, InspireSomatics.com. Blessings on your journey.